The Foro Italico had seen champions weep and legends retire. But when Alex Eala walked off the court after her third-round battle against world number 2 Elena Rybakina, something happened that no one expected. A man in a black suit approached her. He didn't ask for an autograph. He didn't ask for a photo. He handed her a small velvet box. Inside, a diamond bracelet worth more than most people earn in a decade. And then, just as quickly as he appeared, he disappeared into the Roman night. The tennis world has one question. Who was he? Rome, Italy, May 11, 2026, the Foro Italico's Centrale Stadium. 10,000 spectators in a match that would be remembered long after the scoreboard was forgotten. Let me set the scene for you. Alex Eala walked onto the clay of the Centrale Stadium with the weight of 110 million Filipinos on her shoulders. The Philippine flags filled every section of the historic arena, waving in synchronized waves that the Foro Italico had never witnessed before. The chants of Laban, Alex echoed off the marble statues of ancient Roman athletes, creating a sound that felt less like a tennis match and more like a revival. Standing across the net was Elena Rybakina, world number 2, reigning Australian Open champion, a woman who had won 29 matches already this season and whose power had flattened opponents like a steamroller on fresh asphalt. The analysts had predicted a quick victory for the Kazakh star. The oddsmakers had Rybakina as the overwhelming favorite. The script was written. But Alex Eala hadn't read the script. The first set was a masterpiece of courage. Eala broke Rybakina's serve in the fourth game, taking a 3-1 lead that sent the Philippine flags into a frenzy. The chants grew louder, more insistent. The Filipina refused to be intimidated by the world number 2's reputation. She stepped inside the baseline, took the ball early, and redirected Rybakina's pace with precision that left the Kazakh scrambling. Rybakina, as champions do, fought back. She broke Eala's serve twice, leveling the set at 4-4. The momentum had shifted. The crowd, which had been roaring, fell into a tense silence. Then came the ninth game. Rybakina was serving to take the lead. Eala, undeterred, earned breakpoint. The rally lasted 12 shots. Eala moved Rybakina side to side, opened the court, and waited for the opportunity to strike. When it came, a short ball from the Kazakh's racket, Eala stepped in and ripped a forehand down the line. The ball landed flush on the baseline. Rybakina could only watch. Break. Eala would serve for the set. The stadium erupted, but Rybakina, cold and clinical, broke back immediately. The set went to a tiebreaker. The Kazakh's experience proved too much. She took the breaker 7-4. The second set followed a similar script. Eala fell behind early, but fought back, breaking Rybakina's serve and leveling the set at 3-3. The crowd was on its feet. The flags waved desperately. But Rybakina reasserted control, winning 3 straight games to close out the match. Final score, 6-4, 6-3. The world number 2 had advanced. Eala had lost, but she had drawn 32 errors from the Kazakh star while limiting her own to just 17. She had broken Rybakina's serve multiple times. She had held her ground for more than 1 hour and 32 minutes of intense battle. Her ranking would climb to 38. Her prize money would reach €79,510. The Philippine flags were folded. The chants faded. The crowd dispersed. But something else was waiting for Eala outside the stadium, something that would make the tennis world forget the scoreboard entirely. The Foro Italico's players' exit was nearly empty. The crowds had dispersed hours ago. The security guards were preparing to close the gates for the night. The Roman moon hung low over the marble statues, casting long shadows across the empty walkways. Alex Eala walked out of the players' lounge, her racket bag slung over her shoulder, her ankle still wrapped from the match. Her mother, Riza, walked beside her, her arm linked through her daughter's. Her coaches, Joan Bosch, Luc Bausa, and Sandro Vallane, followed a few steps behind, their voices low as they discussed the French Open preparations. The night air was cool. The sounds of the city drifted through the Foro Italico's gates. Distant traffic, muffled conversations, the occasional laughter of Romans enjoying the evening. Eala was tired. Her body ached. Her mind was already drifting toward Paris, toward rolandgarros, toward the next challenge. The Italian Open was behind her. The Philippine flags had been folded. The chance of Laban Alex had faded. Then she saw it. A black SUV with tinted windows sat idling at the curb, its engine running, its lights off. It had not been there when Eala entered the players' lounge 2 hours ago. It had appeared from nowhere, silent and menacing, like something out of a movie. Eala slowed her pace. Her mother tightened her grip on her arm. Her coaches exchanged glances. The driver's door opened. A man in a dark suit stepped out. He was tall, silver-haired, his face weathered but distinguished. He was not recognizable. He was not a celebrity. He was not a politician. He was simply a man. "Miss Eala," he said, his voice calm and measured, "thank you for waiting." Eala stopped. Her team stopped behind her. "I'm sorry," she said, her voice cautious. "Do I know you?" The man smiled. It was not a salesman's smile. It was not a fan's smile. It was the smile of someone who had seen something rare and felt compelled to acknowledge it. "No," he admitted, "you don't know me, but I know you. I've been watching you all week, not just the tennis, the way you carry yourself, the way your people love you, the way you never give up." He paused, his eyes meeting hers. "I wanted to give you something. Something to remind you that your fight matters, that people are watching, that people believe in you." He reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. Eala's breath caught. The velvet box was small, elegant, unmarked. It fit perfectly in the palm of the mystery man's hand. Eala's eyes locked onto it, her heart pounding in her chest. Her mother squeezed her arm tighter. Her coaches held their breath. Let me take you inside the moment that has since become the most shared image of the Italian Open, because what happened next was not in any script, not in any press release, not in any dream Eala had ever dared to dream. The man extended his hand. The box rested on his palm like an offering. "Go ahead," he said gently. "Open it." Eala's hands trembled as she reached for the box. Her fingers brushed against the velvet, soft and luxurious. She lifted the lid. The Roman night seemed to pause. Inside lay a bracelet, platinum and diamonds, delicate yet unmistakably extraordinary. The stones caught the dim light from the nearby street lamps, sparkling like the stars above the Foro Italico. It was not ostentatious. It was not gaudy. It was elegant, understated, and clearly worth more than most people earn in a decade. Eala's breath caught in her throat. "I can't," she whispered. "I can't accept this." The man shook his head. "You can, and you will, because you've earned it." He paused, his voice softening. "I've been where you are, not in tennis, in business. I started with nothing. I built something from the ground up. People doubted me. People counted me out. They said I didn't belong. They said I would never make it." His eyes glistened. "But I kept fighting. I kept believing, and eventually, I proved them wrong." He gestured to the bracelet. "When I watched you compete this week, when I saw you push the world #2 to the limit, when I saw the flags, when I heard the chants, I saw myself, not because of your ranking, because of your refusal to quit, because of your heart." Eala's eyes filled with tears. "This is not a gift," the man continued. "It's a recognition, a reminder that someone saw you fight and decided that you were worth believing in." The diamond bracelets sparkled in the dim Roman light. Alex Eala's hands trembled as she held the velvet box, her eyes fixed on the gift that represented something far more valuable than its weight in platinum and precious stones. Let me take you inside the emotions that overwhelmed the 20-year-old Filipina in that moment, because what Eala felt was not about the money, it was about the recognition. "I don't know what to say," she whispered, her voice cracking. Her mother, Riza, wrapped an arm around her daughter's shoulders, tears streaming down her own face. Her coaches stood in respectful silence, understanding that this moment was not for them. The mystery man waited patiently, his eyes kind, his expression unreadable. "You don't have to say anything," he said, softly. "I didn't come here for thanks. I came here because I wanted you to know that someone sees you, someone believes in you." He paused. His gaze drifted toward the Centrale Stadium, where the lights were being turned off one by one. "I've given gifts to champions before. World Cup winners, Olympic gold medalists, legends of sport, but I've never given a gift to someone who lost the match." He turned back to Eala. "Because you didn't lose, not really. You fought, you refused to quit, you made the world #2 work for every single point, and you did it with the flags of your nation waving behind you." He reached out and gently closed her fingers around the bracelet. "That is worth more than any victory. That is worth celebrating. That is worth remembering." Eala looked down at the bracelet, then back up at the man. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice barely audible. The man smiled. "Someone who knows what it's like to be counted out. Someone who knows what it's like to keep fighting when the world says you should give up. Someone who saw a kindred spirit in a 20-year-old from Manila who refused to quit." He stepped back. "That's all you need to know." The black SUV's engine revved. The tinted windows rolled up, and just as suddenly as he had appeared, the mystery man was gone. Let me take you inside the moments after the encounter, because what happened next was as mysterious as the man himself. Eala stood frozen at the player's exit, the velvet box still clutched in her trembling hands, the diamond bracelet catching the dim light of the Roman street lamps. Her mother, Riza, held her tightly, tears still streaming down her face. Her coaches exchanged glances, unsure of what to say. The SUV pulled away from the curb, its taillights glowing red in the darkness. It merged into the thin, late-night traffic and disappeared around a corner, swallowed by the ancient streets of Rome. No one had thought to take a photo. No one had thought to ask for a name. No one had thought to record the license plate. The mystery man was gone, and he had taken his identity with him. "Who was that?" one of Eala's coaches finally asked, breaking the silence. Eala shook her head slowly. "I don't know," she said. "He didn't tell me. He just said that he believed in me, that he saw himself in my fight." She looked down at the bracelet, still sparkling. That meant more than the gift itself. The team stood in silence for a long moment, processing what had just happened. Then slowly they began to move, toward the waiting team van, toward the hotel, toward the next chapter of their journey. But the mystery of the man in the black SUV would linger long after they left Rome. The next morning, the tennis world woke to a mystery. Who was the man in the black SUV? Why had he given Alex Eala a diamond bracelet? And what did the gesture mean for the Filipina's future? Let me take you inside the firestorm that erupted when news of the secret gift spread across social media, because the reaction was unlike anything the tennis world had ever seen. The story broke on a fan's Twitter account. The fan had been waiting near the player's exit, hoping for one last glimpse of Eala before she left Rome. She had seen the black SUV. She had seen the man in the tailored suit. She had seen the velvet box. And she had posted about it within minutes. OMG, something just happened at the Foro Italico. A man in a black SUV gave Alex Eala a gift. It looked expensive, like really expensive. Does anyone know who he is? The post was shared thousands of times within the hour. By morning, it had been viewed millions of times. The hashtag #WhoIsTheMysteryman and Alex Eala secret gift trended worldwide. The speculation was immediate and relentless. Was he a billionaire, a collector, a secret admirer? The bracelet looks like it costs more than most people make in a year. Who is this guy? Alex Eala has gone from fighting on the court to being courted by the ultra-wealthy. This is insane. Philippine media ran headlines demanding answers. Who gave Alex Eala the diamond bracelet? Read one. Mystery benefactor stuns the tennis world. Read another. Italian journalists scrambled to identify the man. They reviewed security footage, interviewed tournament officials, tracked down leads that led nowhere. But the mystery man had been careful. His SUV had no visible license plate. His face had been partially obscured by the shadows. His voice had been calm, measured, unrevealing. The only person who could identify him was Alex Eala herself, and she wasn't talking. "I don't know who he was," she said in a brief interview the next morning. "I didn't tell me his name. He just said that he believed in me, that he saw himself in my fight, that he wanted me to keep fighting." She paused, touching the bracelet on her wrist. That meant more than the gift itself. Someone saw me. Someone believed in me. And that's all that matters. The Italian Open ended without Alex Eala lifting the trophy. The scoreboard read 6-4, 6-3. Elena Rybakina, the world number 2, had advanced, but the moment that will be remembered from her Rome campaign is not the loss. It is the black SUV, the mystery man, the diamond bracelet, a reminder that someone, somewhere was watching. Someone believed. Someone saw her fight and decided that she was worth celebrating. The mystery man's identity remains unknown. His name remains a secret. His face remains hidden in the shadows of the Foro Italico. But his message is clear. Keep fighting. Keep believing. The world needs more fighters like you. Eala's Italian Open campaign was a triumph by any measure. She defeated world number 45 Magdalena Frech in a 3-set battle. She dominated number 31 seed Wang Yu in straight sets. She pushed world number 2 Elena Rybakina to the limit, drawing 32 errors from the Kazakh star while limiting her own to just 17, breaking her serve multiple times, holding her ground for more than 1 hour and 32 minutes of intense battle. Her ranking climbed from number 42 to number 38. Her prize money reached €79,510. But the numbers only tell part of the story. The real story is written in the Philippine flags that filled the Foro Italico, the chants of Laban Alex that echoed off the marble statues, the tears of OFWs who had traveled across continents to witness their hero compete. And now, the diamond bracelet from a mystery man, a symbol that her fight is not just seen, but celebrated. I don't know who he was, but I know what he meant. He meant that someone believes in me, that someone sees what I'm fighting for, and that's enough. The question that remains is simpler than it seems. When Alex Eala looks down at that diamond bracelet before her next match, will she think of the mystery man who gave it to her, or will she realize that the real gift was the belief she carried all along? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Court Legacy for more stories that go beyond the scoreline. A mysterious man in a black SUV approached Alex Eala after her third-round loss to world number 2 Elena Rybakina at the Italian Open and gave her a diamond bracelet worth a fortune. The man, whose identity remains unknown, told the 20-year-old Filipina, "I've been watching you all week, not just the tennis, the way you carry yourself, the way your people love you. This is not a gift, it's a recognition, a reminder that someone saw you fight and decided that you were worth believing in." The encounter lasted minutes. The SUV drove away. The mystery man was never identified. The story went viral, with the hashtags #WhoIsTheMysteryman and Alex Eala's secret gift trending worldwide. Eala, moved by the gesture, said, "I don't know who he was, but I know what he meant. He meant that someone believes in me, that someone sees what I'm fighting for, and that's enough. Her Italian Open run included victories over world number 45 Magdalena Frech and number 31 seed Wang Yu. Her ranking climbed to number 38.